All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to talk about what Gary Russell Jr. revealed about Errol Spence Jr. heading into the Terence Crawford fight, and also some thoughts on Gary Russell Jr. and what I want to see with Gary Russell Jr. and Gervonta Tank Davis. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to be in the 135-pound division, where we're going to get a return of Gary Russell Jr. He gave an excellent interview with Angry Man Sports Podcast, talking about something that he saw with Errol Spence Jr. Before Errol Spence Jr. fought Terence Crawford that had him worried. And also, we're going to talk about the big fight that he needs to get, that I am definitely going to be pushing for him to get, and he says that he wants. And since there are no better options out there right now, let's make it happen. And that is a fight with Gervonta Tank Davis. Now, before I get into the details of it, though, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you are new to the channel, please accept my invitation to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos. And I want to say thank you to all of the regular subscribers and supporters who continue to come by. And thank you to Matty O, Mr. Pragmatic, and everybody else. Paul Carrick, Barbara D, and everybody else that sponsors videos like this in the super thanks, which is a great way to assist channels like this to continue to do the content that you guys enjoy. But let's get to the two things. First is this isn't somebody else that has pointed out that there looked like there was something wrong with Errol Spence Jr. heading into the Terence Crawford fight, because Gary Russell Jr. was asked what he thought about the fight, and almost to a head, the people that are talking about it and the experts that are looking at the fight and breaking the fight down and what happened are all bringing out the fact that Errol Spence Jr. looked like there was something really wrong with him heading into the fight. I don't like to comment on people's neurological issues and all of that, because I think that that's just really not my place. But in this particular instance, Gary Russell Jr. said that he had seen something with Errol, a few days before the fight when he was getting hit with mitts, doing the mitts with Derek James. And he said that Derek James came over with the mitts and did a wide hook on Errol Spence Jr. and hit Errol Spence Jr. And I think it's a little bit of exaggeration. Said he almost knocked him halfway across the ring, and his balance, he could tell that his balance was really far off just by getting hit with a pad upside the head, or attempting to block a shot by Derek James. Now I can't say that I saw that, but at the same time, I have to tell you that I don't have an eye for that. Derek James, Gary Russell Jr. had also said in a previous interview that when he saw Errol hitting the bags, he could tell that Errol had a hard time getting the distance on the bag, right? And being able to be, to space himself properly, in order to land the punches on the bag. So he just said, look, man, I just really think that there was something neurologically wrong with Errol Spence Jr. in the fight. And he thinks that led into the way that the fight went. Now, at the same time, which I do think is really important to do, but is that it may not have mattered whatsoever what was going on with Errol Spence Jr. Terence Crawford very well could have won that fight anyway. However, it definitely will not help you at all if you go in there, and this is what he said, Gary Russell said about Terence Crawford. He's like, when you see somebody that looks like they're compromised, you're supposed to go in there and do what you got to do to the person that is compromised. So Terence Crawford fought the guy when he got in the ring. That's the case. That's the state he was when he got in the ring. That's not taking anything away from Terence Crawford and Terence Crawford's performance in the fight. It's not saying anybody out saying, I'm not going to say nobody's saying it. I'm not saying it. And I don't think Gary Russell Jr. is saying it. That means that Terence Crawford Errol Spence Jr. would have won the fight if it wasn't for these things. That's when you make an excuse for something. When you say, oh, okay, look, man, if that was the case, right? If that wasn't the case, okay, then he would have won it, right? I don't think that's the case that anybody's saying that. Terence Crawford is an exceptional fighter. I think he's still definitely proved that he is the best fighter in the world. Definitely, bar none, in my opinion, in a pound for pound sense. That doesn't mean that I think that he's going to be going up to once. Well, actually, I do think he can beat Canelo Alvarez at 168 pounds. I'm going to go on. I've been on record saying that I think that he'd be able to beat Canelo at 168. As far as whether or not he beat Jaron Ennis in his own weight class, man, the jury's out on that for me. However, I don't think we're ever going to get an answer to that question because I don't think he's ever going to fight Gervonta Ennis. Now, as far as Gary Russell Jr., though, who is saying that he is definitely going to be making a return to boxing, man, gotta love it. Gotta love it. And I'm telling you right now what I want to see. What I want to see is I want Gary Russell Jr. to get one fight, and then I want them to make everybody in boxing mad by making a fight with Gervonta Davis. Because I think that is, as long as Gary Russell Jr. gets into the ring, has one fight, and wins one fight, I think that he is more than qualified to go up and fight Gervonta Davis at 135 pounds. And I think that is a fight that will answer a lot of questions. Number one, let me explain why I think Gary is a situation with Gary. I don't think Gary has lost a fight really since Vasily Lomachenko. When he threw his shoulder out against Mark Magsayo, I still think he won that fight. I thought he got robbed beating that dude with one hand. And that's how good a fighter Gary Russell is. Gary Russell Jr. is what people say that Gervonta Davis doesn't fight. He says they say, oh, you don't fight slick black fighters. Well, ain't nobody blacker nor slicker than Gary Russell Jr. in the sport of boxing. There ain't no combination of blacker and slicker than my guy, Gary Russell Jr. If you don't believe him, look at the costumes he wears when he gets into the ring, dog. He's got the full black African hunting regalia on. So, nah, man. He, without a doubt, is somebody that I would like to see fight Gervonta Davis. He's also a future Hall of Fame fighter. Some people may disagree with that. I think he's a future Hall of Fame fighter, having been a champion in that division that long. And I would vote for him just off the sheer amount of people that ducked him and refused to fight him when he was there. Because there was a lot of people that would not fight him when he was there. But at the end of the day, we're going to see what takes place. I think it's as good as a fight with Isaac Cruz. It's as good as a fight with any of those other guys at lightweight. Edwin DeSantos. I know there's people that want to see Edwin DeSantos. Who else is out there that he can actually fight? Because the real top dogs in that division that people want to see him fight are with Top Rank or with other networks. And that being like Vasily Lomachenko, Shakur Stevenson. Some people may consider George Kambosos one of those guys, even though I got to tell you, I'm not one of those people that see George Kambosos as that. But whatever the case is, man, we're going to get to see pretty soon what Gary Russell's going to do, what Gervonta Davis is going to do. And again, man, I really did appreciate the interview from Angry Man Sports Podcast with speaking to Gary Russell Jr. about that. And because I think everybody deserves to know why Errol Spence Jr. looked the way he looked before he got in the ring. Not necessarily what went on in the ring. That's all Terence Crawford punching people upside the head. However, what was the deal with him going into the ring? That is a question that probably should be answered and should be talked about. And if people don't like it, hey, man, that's just on y'all. It is what it is. People are going to talk about what they want to talk about. Anyway, that's my take on the matter. You let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Peace.